Hi, I'm David.
And I'm Mandy, and we're Memories Are Out There.
And in this episode, we're talking all things all-star movies.
We've stayed there several times, and we haven't done a lot of the resorts. We've only done a couple. But movies is our favorite because the theming of it is just so much fun. Yeah, it's our favorite.
Yeah, it's really neat seeing all the big characters in quotation marks.
Yeah.
They're not out there, but they're
Statues.
Big, huge statues.
Yeah.
So it is what Disney considered a value resort. So it's the bottom tier, the air quote again, cheapest restaurant.
Cheapest resort.
Resorts.
Cheapest resort.
So along with it, there's the All-Star movies, the All-Star sports, and the All-Star music. And when you go through security, they're all three kind of linked together. They all share like backyards to each other. But,
technically, I think sports would be the cheapest, and then music, and then movies.
Yeah, there's dollars difference for whatever reason.
Yeah, because the movies is better.
And
it's funner.
It's more popular than the other two. So Disney says, let me charge a couple extra $5 a night per room. You add that in with how many rooms? 1,900 plus? Yeah. 1,920 rooms in this resort. So, charge an extra $5 per night per room.
$520.
There's a couple $1,000 per night extra to stay there versus the other two All-Stars.
Yeah.
So, the resort opened in January of 1999. The rooms were refurbished somewhere in 2019. And in this resort, there are basically 5 themed areas.
Yep. You got Fantasia, which is the biggest one, I would say, just because it has the big pool is right there. It's the Fantasia pool.
Yeah.
Then you've got, to the left, you have Toy Story section, which is awesome. And then in the back is the Love Bug section. You've got the 101 Dalmatians and the Mighty Ducks.
Yep.
Yeah, I got them.
All the way to the side.
I will say Fantasia, 101 Dalmatians, and Toy Story are considered the preferred ones. So they are a little bit more expensive to stay in because they're close to the buses.
They're close to transportation.
Everything.
So, again, Disney finds a way to say, if you want to be closer to transportation, which if you're staying at a value resort on property, you're going to the parks. You're not staying there just for fun to stay the night. So they know, a family of 4, of 6 spends 4 days there. You're walking all day. Yeah. So why not make the rooms a little bit closer? All right. Well, we'll charge a couple extra dollars per night.
So if you get a standard room,
air quotations,
if that's what you pay for, the standard room, you're going to be in either Mighty Ducks or the Love Bug.
Yeah. And each of these areas, like Fantasia, the steps going up and down to from first level to second level, the outside facade of the steps is covered by the huge Fantasia book, which is really cool.
It is really neat.
Yeah. What else is in the Fantasia land? Isn't there a character? Like there's the big Jack in the Box or whatever.
And the brooms.
The brooms.
Mops.
Mops.
Brooms.
Yeah, we'll split it.
The hat, the big old sorcerer hat is there.
Yeah, and you can walk through it.
The ballerina.
Yep.
You can walk through the hat. It's fun.
What about the Mighty Ducks section?
Mighty Ducks section has the other pool. So there's 2 pools at this resort.
Yep.
The Fantasia pool, which is the main one. So it's the biggest pool. It's got some water stuff shooting out of a Mickey. The Mighty Ducks section has the second pool, and it is a little smaller, but, it's still a good-sized pool.
Yeah, it's probably the size of, like, an Olympic-sized swimming pool. Maybe a little bit wider, but it's that long. It's enough to fit quite a few families in there.
Yeah.
Just some seating around the outside.
The Mighty Ducks has the hockey pucks and the hockey sticks.
Yep.
Their bathroom section by the pool right there looks like a locker room.
Yeah, like a hockey locker room, which is it's really neat. So there is a laundry room over there, and there is bathrooms. Yes. And it's the smaller of the 2 pools. So what about the Love Bug section?
The Love Bug section's cool. It's got Herbie.
Yeah, it does have an actual bug car.
And then big ones
Basically,
on the buildings.
Yeah, basically in the center, I guess, of all of the rooms. Like, the bug is in the first center of the yard.
Good little photo op.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty neat.
And it has tires all around it, too. Not like real tires.
Yeah. It is cool. I was never big into the love bug thing, Herbie, but it is neat.
Yeah,
but
it's a neat little section.
I guess, is it the farthest back
Yes.
section? So if you don't pay extra for the preferred room, you might get stuck in the love bug section. It's another quarter of a mile that you have to walk, each way coming to and from the park. So, I don't know. If you prefer one of, we get to the Toy Story Land in a second, but yeah, it is pretty far back there. It's the farthest edge. So, what about the 101 Dalmatians section?
That's my favorite section. It's got a big, on one side there's a huge Pongo, and on the other side's a huge Purdy.
And they are huge.
They are huge.
There's 2 stories of rooms.
Yes.
But these statues tower over top. I mean, they're probably, 40 to 50 feet. They're huge.
I don't know, but they're huge. All these things are so much fun to take pictures in front of, too.
Yeah, definitely.
They have a little TV that is, like, the screen would be cut out.
Like an old tube television, but it's big.
So you can go in there and put your heads in and get a picture. And Lucky is sitting in front of it watching TV.
Yeah. And not just your heads, but we got like a little photo picture of you. Hopefully we'll find it on here. Your whole top half of your body, and you have your arms up. It's all within the frame of the television.
I guess it depends on how tall you are.
Yeah, if you're like 6'5", you might have to bend down a little bit. But it is a neat photo op. Lucky sitting down watching you, right? It's Lucky, right? Yep. And the pavement.
Canine crunchies all over the pavement.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, if you're a 101 Dalmatians fan.
If you don't know what that is, it's the dog treats, like a milk bone.
Yep.
But it's a dog treat. I mean, a canine crunchie instead.
They're big. They're probably like 5 or 6 feet.
They are big.
Just in the pavement of the sidewalk. But it's a neat little homage to 101 Dalmatians. It's a neat little thing that the Imagineers put in there all those years ago.
Yes.
And on to my favorite section, which is, normal people's favorite section, is the Toy Story section. Is it the closest to the front? I feel like Toy Story is like right up there.
Well, Fantasia's when you first walk out.
You do have to walk
Toy Story's to the left.
Toy Story's to the left. That's right.
101 Dalmatians is to the right. Mighty Ducks is after 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
And then Love Bug is back behind Fantasia.
Yep.
I almost said Fantasmic.
Yeah. So before you get into I guess it's all Toy Story part, but you have like the green army men
climbing up out of the bucket.
Yeah, and they're all probably like life size because they're everywhere.
They go up onto the tops of the buildings.
Yeah, the bucket of army men is huge. Does this surround the steps like the Fantasia book? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Okay,
I can't remember
we'll have to look through some footage.
Bucket is.
But the bucket is huge.
It is over where the stairs would be.
Yeah, it is. I'm trying to remember if it actually surrounded the outside of the steps, like the Fantasia book.
Something is always covering the steps.
Yeah, which is neat. It's just a neat little thing that you don't see Motel 6 steps walking up to the second level. It's just surrounded. Before you actually get into Andy's room, what's out there? There's like a life-size checkerboard, right?
One of the big games that you can play, yeah.
Yeah, there's a foosball table out there.
And RC. Which is big enough for you to sit in.
Yeah, it's
maybe not an adult, but a kid can sit in it.
It's a statue, but you can get in it and get your picture taken. So it's like half the size of a car. Like you can hop in it and get your picture taken and hop out. But it's really neat. So then you make your way past RC into the second part of the Toy Story section, because you walk through Andy's room, his door. Yeah. And the door is probably 20 feet tall, because you can just maybe reach the door handle.
I don't know. It's big.
It is big. And it's basically...
because you've shrunk down to be a toy.
Yeah, you're one of the toys. You walk through the door, and that's more Toy Story rooms.
Yeah, you walk through, and there's Bo Peep and Rex, and they're big.
Yeah, they're like 10 foot size because like you can get selfies, but they're bigger than you are.
Yeah.
But Buzz and Woody sit opposite of each other, kind of looking at each other, and they're the same size as the 101 Dalmatians. They're 30, 40 feet.
Spelling out their names next to
them.
them.
Yeah, those are cool. They go the old school wooden letterbox.
And the clouds.
Yeah, so on the far end of it is you see Andy's room, his wallpaper, the clouds, the classic Pixar, background. And it has a window which is high. I don't think you can see through it because it's so tall.
No, yeah.
The window's probably like 10 feet in the air, but it's really neat.
It is neat.
So those are all of the areas of All-Star Movies, right?
All of the places where you can stay, yeah. Now
there's other things. So let's get into checking in. So I arrive at 11 a.m. and I get to the resort. The resort will hold my bags for me, but check-in's
not till 3.
It's not till 3 p.m. So the way it used to work and probably still does is you can get like a notification on your phone when your room's available. And even though it's check-ins at 3, sometimes your room might become available. It's completely random. It might be available at 11 a.m. You don't know.
Yeah.
But they'll hold your baggage. So if you're a large family and everybody has suitcases, you don't have to worry about trying to wheel those things through the park. Go to your resort, drop your luggage off, and they will actually deliver it to your room as well.
And then just go get on a bus and go to the park.
Yeah, very, very cool. And check out, unfortunately, so sadly, leaving a resort is like the saddest thing ever, is 11 a.m. Got to be out of the room, get ready for the next guest. So sad. That was always the worst part of a Disney vacation.
I will tell you this, though. I was in Magic Kingdom. I got my poison apple sipper, and I was drinking it walking out of the park, and this guy goes, "You need to put some alcohol in that." Whew, we're on day 7. I'm ready to go home. I just laughed at him because it's rough when you have kids.
And Disney is not a vacation, as everybody, well, most of the world knows. You do not come to Disney World to vacation. You need a vacation
from your Disney vacation.
Yeah. That 7-day, if they went hard and try to, that family tried to get their money's worth, 7 days of 13, 14-hour days on your feet in the Florida heat and humidity, dealing with thousands of people every day, standing in lines, like, dude, more power to you if you don't freak out by day 7.
I know.
Most families will put like at least a break day in the middle. So it's like 3 days on, take a break, 3 days on. I remember when we would come down here, it would kill me that off day.
I know.
Even though it would literally physically kill you to be like, okay, I need to take a break. Those off days, you're like, I'm down here in Florida at Disney World and we're not going to a park.
Yep.
What?
Well, do you remember the last time we did a 10-day?
10-day.
We took a day off and stayed at the pool. And by halfway through the day, we were like, let's go to the park.
Yeah. It all depends. Like now that we live down here, not a chance.
No.
Not a chance. We go for 4 or 5 hours and we're like.
I was going to say, we barely even ever do a long day anymore.
No, ever.
And when our family comes down and friends and we do long days, it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we traveled down here last January or December. I can't remember now. 2 years ago now. And we logged in like 4 days, full long days, right as we got COVID.
Yep.
And dude, 2 days in, we were like, oh my God. Now I couldn't imagine now that we live down here and, we go to parks whenever and it's like 3 hours in, we're like, all right. We're good. We got our Disney fix for the day. Let's go home.
Yep.
So,
all right, we got off track.
The Wi-Fi. So there is, free Wi-Fi for all guests. You get a special login for your room and everything like that, which is handy if you're uploading videos or if you have to work from the resort for a little while.
Yeah.
Free Wi-Fi, and it's Disney Wi-Fi, so it's pretty strong. That's about it. Free Wi-Fi. So I mean, can't complain. There's actually Wi-Fi in the parks as well. So
I swear I think it slows down though because so many people are on it.
There's at any given point in time there's 40,000 people just in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
That's guests.
Yeah.
Add in all the workers who might be looking on the phones at lunch, there's thousands of workers in a guest. So there's some serious Wi-Fi boosters in those parks.
There is a store in it. It's called Donald's Double Feature. It's open from 7:30 in the morning until 11. It's normal resort store.
Yeah.
Toys, clothes.
I mean, but there's a lot in there.
It's a big store.
There is every type of merchandise you can want, from toys to clothes to suitcases to everything. And then there's tons of toys, but there's also like a home section.
Yes, which is cool. Disney's home stuff is really neat. So they have a little home section. Then they also have a whole snack section. So if you come back from the park and you're wanting a snack or a drink, I mean, the food court might still be open, but you can go over to the store. They also sell beer and wine.
Yeah, a lot of beer and wine. Actually, for that specific store, I mean, there's an entire rack of wine.
Yeah.
And there's actually Disney wine there.
Yeah. Which
Which is pretty neat. We've never tried it. We should get a bottle of it and try it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it tastes like all the other wine.
Probably.
But
There's also, they do have like the specialty section stuff, like if you forget toothpaste or headache pills, stuff like that.
Yeah, first aid, any of that type of stuff. Feminine hygiene. There's a whole rack of just feminine hygiene, products.
Swim diapers too.
Yeah, it's a legit store.
Yeah.
I mean, it's typical, but there are other resort stores that are nowhere near that size.
No.
There's everything you want in it.
And I will say, sometimes you can find things at these resort stores that you can't find in the park. So always check them out.
Yeah, I mean, we visited for the day and we spent 20 minutes in that store just walking around going, oh, look at all these cool things. They had the Toy Story.
Aliens dressed up as all the Pixar characters.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Again, it's open from 7:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. So you can go there.
If you're closing out Magic Kingdom, it's not going to be open when you get back.
No.
So be prepared for that. If you're closing out Magic Kingdom, food court's not going to be open when you get back. So be prepared. If you're closing out Magic Kingdom, have food in your room before if you think you're going to be hungry.
Yeah, I mean, things are not open 24/7 there. But just pay attention to the hours because...
Or eat before you leave Magic
Those
Kingdom.
hours might change day to day. Those are like the posted hours when
As
we
of
were
now.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else?
Not about the store. I was just going to say we also have 2 pools, which we already told you about, the Fantasia pool and the Duck Pond pool.
Yeah. I don't remember. Are they heated?
I don't know.
So the last time we stayed there, I would come out in the mornings and you would see the steam, I guess you would call it, rising up off the pool. And we were there in January.
We stayed there with your mom.
So Florida, it was winter, but the steam was coming off the water, so the water was warm. Maybe they only heat it a couple months out of the year. I'm not sure.
Probably not all year.
You do not need to heat it.
You wouldn't need it.
In June and July and August.
Nobody would be in it.
But the Fantasia pool is the pool when you come out of the main building towards your rooms, you have to walk around the Fantasia pool. It is legit. It's a big pool.
It is. It's fun. We've been in it.
Yeah, you have the Sorcerer Mickey at the far end of it, and he's shooting water out of his hands. That's really cool.
There is also a kiddie pool.
Oh yeah,
If you're looking at the Fantasia pool, it's over to the left. It looks like it's in icebergs. Like there's just this big blue building, which is bathrooms and a laundry room. And then the kiddie pool is right there.
Yeah, that's really neat. And they are all like the kiddie pool was all fenced in.
Yes.
Like high, good quality fence. So
and there's a splash pad.
And there's a splash pad. And right there as well is lockers. Or I'm not sorry, not lockers, but laundry and bathrooms. Did you say that?
Yeah.
Oh man, I wasn't paying attention.
Surprise, surprise.
I think I fell asleep, honestly.
What I want to note.
Yes.
In case you're planning a vacation. January of 24 to April of 24, the Fantasia pool will be closed for maintenance.
Boo.
So if you're planning a trip between those times and you want to stay at this, they still have the Duck Pond pool, but that will be the only pool opened.
Yeah.
For that time.
And that is atypical of Disney. There's so many people there. 365 days a year, they have to do refurbishment at some point.
And that's a slow time. So.
And that's winter time down here, so that is their slow point of the year, so the least amount of people will be affected. And like Mandy said, the other pool is still open, so
yes.
Florida people don't get in the water from January to April. I wouldn't imagine.
I think a lot of them do.
Yeah, but if you're coming here from like Maine or Washington, where January there is 10 degrees or negative, and you come down here and it's still 16, 70. Yeah.
Maddie will swim in January.
Northerners are built to swim in that degree of weather.
I'm not getting in it, but Maddie will swim in January.
Yeah, the pools are awesome. At any given point, especially the Fantasia pool, there's a good amount of people there, but the pool is really big.
Yeah, it is. It is really big. And
All
of course, lawn chairs too, of course.
Oh, yeah. Hundreds of them.
Yeah.
All right, so on to the world premiere food court. Breakfast at the time that we filmed it was 6:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And then immediately it switches over right on cue at 10:30 to lunch and dinner. And that gets served all the way until 11 p.m. So if you roll out of bed late because you park hopped and you stayed and watched the fireworks at Magic Kingdom and it took forever to get back to the resort and you sleep in, if you sleep until 9 or 10, you're not getting breakfast. By the time you roll out of bed and get over there,
I highly doubt anybody sleeps
dude,
in.
you pull in a 7-nighter. There was 10-day trips we did, man. You're exhausted.
So breakfast, they do typical breakfast stuff: eggs, bacon,
Mickey
potatoes,
waffles.
Mickey waffles, best waffles
Bacon,
in the world.
sausage, fruit.
They have a bagel sandwich station.
Oh yeah, sandwiches. Yep, and then in the the middle of it is like all the refrigerated things that they have there.
Yeah, pastries,
fruit, parfait, drinks.
They have little snacks that you can buy and take with you to the parks, like carrots, grapes.
Yep. What's the peanut butter and jelly things? What are they called? Uncrustables. Yeah, that's all in the center. And then out in the middle of the food court is all like fresh fruit, like bananas and things like that sitting out there. And over to the other side is like their one whole side is dessert.
It's not very big though. But yeah.
No, I mean, it's a whole counter.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then not even right around. It's right at 10:30. You can be standing there and they change it over to lunch and dinner. They're not separated.
No. They've got pizzas, burgers,
pasta,
chicken, pastas. They have dinners. They had a dinner.
Yeah, they have. I don't know if it was meatloaf, but there were like
some kind of dinner.
Yeah,
like
a home style, home cooked dinner.
Yeah.
Everything.
We haven't been there in years, but when we were there, it wasn't that bad.
No.
Like we ate there every chance. We had breakfast every morning.
Every morning.
And there were times where we would come home early and eat dinner there.
Yeah, and if you vacation at Disney often, I can just get a quick service there because you need to book 3 months out to get your dining, that you want to eat at.
Yep.
But you can always either start your day at the resort cafeteria or you can end the day there and there's no line. Like you can walk right in within 3 minutes. You got a tray in your hand and you got food being delivered to you.
Yeah, it's very fast.
And it's all $15 or under. Mm-hmm. There's nothing there that's like $30 meals. Mm-mm. It is quick service meals, but it's a full on. There's chefs and cooks everywhere.
Yep.
Because the movies, that food court, it's big.
I'm pretty sure there's 3 or 4 different
adding
stations.
in the dessert side, there's 4. There's 3 food and then the
3 food.
Then the food. And each section is completely different, like the pastas and the home cooked meals is in one, the sandwiches and chicken fingers are at one, and then there's pizza and salad. Yeah. So there is something there for everybody. Mm-hmm. But it closes down at 11 p.m. You will not come home after watching the fireworks and eat. They're done. Lights are off and they've cleaned up shop. Yep. There's also the cups, the mugs.
The refillable mugs.
Yep, the refillable mugs. And
if you're staying, you should totally get one. They're good for 2 weeks. You can't refill them in the parks. It's just at the resorts.
Yeah, there's a RFID chip in the bottom of it. So when you put your mug up to the soda machine,
I'm pretty sure, unless they changed it, but it never used to let you fill them in the parks.
And it waits as well. Like, you can't fill it up, down it, and then fill it up again.
Yeah, there's a time limit.
It's quick, maybe like 1 minute or something.
I don't even know if it's a minute, but yeah.
But it's still worth it if you're staying there for 7-8 days. More than likely, the chances you're going to be in there multiple times.
Oh yeah.
And if you're spending $3-4 a time to drink a soda, within 4 or 5 times, you've already made your money back.
Yep.
And the mug, we've had ours forever. Like we get one at every trip.
Years of them. Yep.
They're my coffee cups.
Yep.
I drink coffee out of them every morning on my way to work, and we rotate through them. They're the quality of them. I mean, geez, 10 years I've used those things.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The new one, will the new one go on the shelf? I don't remember. I get to use it for coffee? Awesome. All right, so we're going to head out of the world premiere food court, and then on the right-hand side, before you go outside,
is the Real Fun Arcade.
That's right. So it's open from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and that's the posted hours. If they're doing maintenance or refurbishment, it won't be those hours.
No.
When we went in there the other day, we went for a tour. It was definitely recently refurbished because it was super clean and super new looking.
New games looking. Yeah. Awesome. It looked so much fun.
Yeah, you could spend some time in there. It's not included.
No.
So it's a legit arcade. You
have to buy a card.
Yep.
Just like you do at any arcade now.
Prices are normal arcade prices, but if you're taking off day and the kids get restless, you could probably go and spend $50 in there, which will be cheaper than if you were in a park for the day getting things. And you could spend some time in there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of games in there.
A lot. Looks fun.
Yeah, there's a couple massage chairs in there as well.
For the parents.
Yeah. Your calves and legs will kill you after a few days of walking around the parks. Other than that, it's a typical arcade, but the movies, it was definitely well maintained and new.
There's also a playground.
Oh,
There's
there is.
one playground on property. It is down by Toy Story. So if you're walking towards Toy Story and Toy Story is over here, you're going to make a right. And it's over there.
Yeah, it's got its own little path leading to it. It's kind of secluded. Honestly, if you weren't looking for it, you'd probably walk by it. It's surrounded by trees.
Yeah.
But it's also fenced in. Which is just another little Disney feature that, they just add a little bit of security to it.
Yes.
It's a typical it's a kid's playground. I mean, I wouldn't say teenagers would be hanging out there.
Oh, no. I think the sign says 2 to 5 or 2 to 8.
All right.
Yeah. It's not a huge playground.
Yeah.
But it's a playground.
Again, if you're taking an off day and you've got a 6-year-old that's restless or a 4-year-old, there's a playground.
Yep.
Pool, playground, arcade. There's your nice relaxing day in the resort.
Yes.
So up next, kind of near the playground, is the Silver Screen Spirits Pool Bar. So that's outside when you walk outside. If you kind of make a left U-turn.
Yeah, it's like right there on your left.
Yeah. And it opens at 12 p.m. and shuts down at 11 p.m., just like everything else. You can order some food there, sandwiches and snacks, but it's an outside bar. And it's neat because it's kind of hard to find alcohol in a few of the parks. But here, I mean, if you're hanging out by the pool all day, there's an outside bar there. They make a bunch of specialty drinks.
And they do have non-alcoholic drinks too. So if your kid is sitting there with you, and I don't know if they're allowed to sit there. I'm pretty sure we saw some kids the other day.
There was a guy he had his 2 kids, one on each side, and he was just sitting there. He had a drink, and they can
order something fun.
Yeah,
it's
neat. Definitely, probably well needed for parents. And if that guy was a single parent, had 2 kids there, if he was logging in 5 or 6 days, and that was the middle of his vacation, I'd sit there all day and just hang out. Kids can play the pool, and I can sit here and have a couple drinks.
The real spot.
The real spot. That's actually what I was going to talk about, but I kind of got sidetracked. So when you walk past the outside bar, you will have the playground on the right, and then right past that on your left it's outside viewing of movies, but you're covered up.
You look like you're in a movie reel.
So the old school reel-to-reels, even they still use them today in movie theaters. But it's the little outside pavilion is built out of all these big old silver reels, which is really cool. You walk in, there's chairs, probably 10 tables, and up in front they'll have a screen that drops down and a projector, and each night they play a movie out there. It would be, I guess, what you would call limited seating, probably first come, first serve.
Yeah, the whole place isn't going to fit in there.
No, it's probably about 10 tables and some spare chairs.
But they do have movie posters up to tell you what they're playing every night.
Yeah, that's really cool. And it's not just like cheap movie posters they thumbtacked up.
No.
Each one is framed and it's super nice, and it goes like, Sunday through Sunday, right?
Like you're at an old movie theater where they used to put them up like in the
like in the outside.
Things.
Yeah. It is really cool. It's extremely well themed. The entire resort is.
Did you say that was at 9:00?
Did I? I don't remember.
They do that every night at 9:00.
Oh, at 9 p.m. Yep. So again, it's probably first come, first serve. I didn't see anything, reserve a table here or anything like that.
There's 2 laundry rooms. We already went over them. One is by the Fantasia pool and kiddie pool, and the other one is in the duck pond, by the duck pond pool.
And you have to key card into those.
Yes.
Which is another little added security thing that Disney does. Nobody can walk in there and take your laundry
take your key card
unless
with
it's
you.
somebody else going in there. But yeah, take your key card. Otherwise, you're not getting in.
Yeah. Or they might have it on the phone. I don't know how they do it now because we haven't been at a resort.
They might have it on the phone now, yeah. Okay, so they do different activities throughout the week as well, and they're posted in different locations. They do poolside activities, a ton of poolside activities, arts and crafts, campfires with marshmallows. I'm always hot and living in Florida. Like we used to love sitting campfires when we camped and we're in Maryland. Not down here. And of course, true to Disney fashion, there's s'mores kits that you can purchase. Like I said earlier, there's 1,900 plus rooms, so it is a large resort. And multiple times throughout the year, large schools and cheerleading competitions and things like that, they do stay and they book up a lot of rooms. So it is a value resort, right? Mm-hmm. It's the low-end Disney resort. You might have the unfortunate timing of trying to spend thousands of dollars on this once in 3-year vacation, and there might be
6 schools staying there with you.
And they might be from anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And they're teenagers. I mean,
so I did price it. As of right now, the price of a preferred room is about $205 a night. For Florida residents, it's about $161.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2023 and it's Disney property.
It doesn't include your tickets. Tickets are going to be more.
That's just to stay there.
But when you do buy it all together, they do give you a little discount.
Yeah, they do give you a discount. And it's not just the resort, it's also transportation.
Yeah.
So, parking at a park is $30 minimum. And if you're staying on resort, that's per day. If you stay there 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days and you go to 7 or 8 parks, times $30. And if you want preferred parking, it's $50.
Yeah.
There's another $300 in parking that you do save by staying on property and riding the buses,
And you don't have to pay to park at the resort when you're staying there anymore.
No longer, which is good. Mm-hmm. $200 a night. I mean, I guess that'd be a going rate for a decent hotel room, maybe. I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going to go with that. I'm not sure. Each room is 4 occupants and 1 child under 3 in a crib.
And you can request a crib from the front.
Did we do that when Maddie was younger? Did we request?
We didn't get a crib. We got a
pack and play. We didn't bring the pack and play, or did we?
No, we flew.
We flew. Yeah, that's right.
It was when we came down and she was 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't travel to Disney with a 1-year-old.
A lot of people do it.
And I get it.
She was terrified.
She was terrified of every character. We did a bunch of dining with characters. Oh my gosh. Ruined every one of those.
She
high dollar.
She still remembers it too.
It traumatized her so bad she probably does remember it.
One of them, we were at a breakfast at Chef Mickey's, and I think it was Goofy, and he knew she had been crying, right? So he snuck up behind us and let everybody get pictures without her crying. And I don't know if she could feel it or
she
what,
could sense it.
but she was like,
yeah,
and
she
lost
totally
her
sensed
mind.
it.
But we got a couple pictures without her freaking out.
Well, most of them were her screaming. And not just that, but like you have a stroller, and then we use bus transportation, which is what you do when you're staying on property. Breaking down that stroller, and the stroller is not just a stroller. You got popcorn buckets hanging off of it, purses, there's things shoved underneath of it.
Everybody comes to Disney with babies and kids, though.
Dude, it was stressful.
It was stressful.
It was stressful. You're in the parks, you're trying not to hit people, but you do run into people. And then now that we don't have it, when people run into us with the stroller, we're like, really? Like, that guy just ran into the back of my ankle. Did he not see me? That poor guy is probably like, this is my 9th day here. I've spent $5,000. I just want to go home.
Right.
Yeah.
But you can request a crib or a pack and
Yeah,
play. I don't know
for
what
sure.
they're going to give you, but you can request that for your little one. If they're under 3, it doesn't count. You can have 5 in the room.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's 4. And I read somewhere, I don't know how true this is, but I read somewhere that if it's 2 adults and then you add another 2 in, it's an extra $10 per adult after the first 2.
The mouse.
Again, I don't know how true that is, but I read it.
I would believe
somewhere.
it. Every room has a mini fridge, a nightstand. The water pressure is always super strong in those things. So, like, the showers are always nice. A small table, usually to throw all our stuff on. Usually
They've
2
gotten
tables
smaller,
there.
though.
The tables
In
have?
the pictures, they used to have a big circle one, and we
Yeah.
we used to fill that sucker.
You just covered it in everything.
It's like a square now with
wow.
two chairs. That's it.
Us Americans aren't getting any smaller, so
It's a small table.
there's and it's at the end of the day, it's a typical room. You know,
Yeah.
you have a TV.
2 queen beds.
2 queen beds. 9 times out of 10, you're not even turning that TV on. You're only sleeping there.
Yeah. You can get a king bed. You can request a king bed, but the rooms that have the king bed are all handicap accessible. So
Okay.
you can request that room, but if someone with special needs it, they're going to get it before you. So if you request a king size bed and you don't get it, somebody needed it, and that's why. And then you'll get the 2 queen bed.
Yeah, they're limited.
Yeah.
There's only so many.
There's 96 handicapped accessible rooms, and that includes the shower. Their bathroom
okay.
will be bigger
Yep.
so that you can fit a wheelchair in it, and it will be a wheelchair accessible shower.
Okay. Do they have connecting rooms? Like if I
They
have 2
do
families?
have connecting rooms still, which is fun. We've done that before.
Yep. Sometimes it's fun.
And you can lock them so that they can't be
Yeah.
opened all the time. I always think of that movie where the guy got stuck in between the doors.
It's Home Alone.
No, it's not Home Alone. It's because it's that guy.
Home Alone. Oh, Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year, that's it.
Rosenberger.
Yeah. Rostenkowski.
Right, yeah.
He gets stuck in between the 2
He's
doors.
like,
Yeah.
for like hours. What the? Oh.
But-
It's Marv, but I can't remember his
Yeah.
real name. Oh, Daniel something.
But that's...
I'm coming up.
They do have connecting rooms. You can request those as well. They don't have a lot of them, but they have enough to where you can request them.
Yeah. All right. So another big thing of parking. You don't have to pay for parking any longer. During COVID, Disney was losing money left and right, so they had to try to find ways to recoup some of their loss. So if you were staying there on property, you had to pay each night. I was like $12 to
daily
$15 just to have your car sit in the parking lot. Even if you took the Disney transportation every day, which most people do, you still had to pay just to have your car parked there. They no longer do that, which is wonderful.
Yes.
You know, now that COVID's kind of over, Disney's recouping that money hand over fist. So, you know, they take that away.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah, that was kind of a crazy little thing. I understand it, but
I don't. You're
yeah.
paying enough.
You sure are. You sure are.
On to transportation.
On to transportation. So, for the All-Star movies, how can I get there? Right?
What?
So,
No, silly. Transportation from the hotel to
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah. How do I get to and from? Can I take the gondolas?
Oh, no.
No? Well, that
The only
stinks.
thing you can do is buses.
Oh, there's no boats or nothing?
No.
That's
Way
unfortunate.
too far away.
Yeah. So I already know this, but there's the parking lot, and so you're either driving yourself and paying for parking, or you're taking the bus as your only transportation from All-Star Movies. Some of the
Take
other
the bus.
properties, take the bus.
Don't pay for parking.
Yeah, save yourself the money. The buses drop you off close to right up front.
And it's fun.
It is fun.
We really miss doing the buses.
We do miss riding the buses.
We'll go down to Disney Springs sometimes and get on a bus to a hotel just go
and
do
walk
something.
and walk around boardwalk or something. So we have done that. The only time the buses are like your worst enemy is you've logged in 12 hours at Magic Kingdom, and
You're leaving at park close,
yeah,
and so is everybody else.
so is 50,000 other people. Now you divide that by 30 resorts and all the other modes of transportation. You're like, there's no way there's going to be a line.
There's a line.
There's 1,900 plus rooms at this resort. A
But-
quarter of them are going to Magic Kingdom and watching those fireworks.
While you're standing in line, just remember that you didn't have to pay for parking.
Yeah. That's the only, just keep telling yourself that. It's like, I just saved $30. I just saved $30.
And everybody can take a quick nap on the bus.
Yeah, the
unless
light-
you have to stand. If you have to stand, then you can't take a nap.
And there's only limited seating, and it's an open bus, so they can wheel in at least 2 of the ECVs on each
Yep.
bus. So it's a lot of standing room. It's kind of like the monorail.
Yeah.
If you get in first, you can
You
get a
grab that
seat.
seat.
Dude, you grab that seat. You don't let up.
Well, now listen. If an elderly person comes in, you give them your seat.
It depends on how old they are.
No, you give them your seat.
We're not any young, any younger. No, but honestly,
Don't be that person.
be the person. If the person has a kid, they've probably been carrying that kid all day.
Oh my gosh,
Let
give
them
them your
sit.
seat.
Or you just don't make eye contact. You
Oh
just
my
sit there and you
gosh.
just look around.
Stop it.
Or you sit there and close your eyes. Because let me tell you, it's only a couple minute ride from All-Star Movies to any of the parks, dude. After that long day, and they turn the lights off and there's AC finally,
Maddie usually fell asleep every time.
you will fall asleep, or your kids will definitely fall asleep.
Yeah.
But you are packed in there like sardines if you stay till the end of each park at night.
But the buses are still your best option.
For sure. The worst is you watch the fireworks, you struggle to get out of Main Street, and you come and there's a long line for your bus, and you just have to stand there and watch the bus leave. And that bus leaves, and you got 15 minutes before that bus comes back.
Not all the time. Sometimes there's more than one runner.
Sometimes, a bus will leave and another one will pull up right behind it, and then everybody cheers. But man, that's the worst. That and
You're really
leaving
making this a downer.
that
Knock it
and
off.
leaving at 11 a.m. On your last
11.
day. Those are your 2 downers.
So the buses do go to every park, Disney
Yes.
Springs, and both water parks.
So when you walk out of All-Star Movies at the front, right where parking is, they have digital TVs and digital displays, roughly giving you an estimate of when the next bus will arrive.
Yep. And they have sections for everybody to stand depending on where you're going.
Yep. And you can also rent the minivans.
The minivans are back.
Yeah, the minivans are back. You have to order the minivan through Lyft, and
you will pay for it. This
There-
is not a complimentary.
not only will you pay
Thing.
for it, if you used a regular Lyft, it would be cheaper. But
Really? I didn't know that.
The minivans are more expensive.
Well, and you're going to have to tip your driver, so
But
get on the bus instead.
here's what you also get at the minivan. You do get dropped off right up front at the ride share at each park, but you're also getting a cast member that drives the minivan.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
So it's a trained cast member that are being paid by the hour to do that drive. So you're not getting a random stranger that just is doing this for a side hustle. It is an actual cast member.
That's awesome.
So you're paying a premium, but you're also getting maybe a little bit of added comfort, and there is also a child seat in every single one of them.
Nice.
So you can request extra child.
Way to do your research.
This is what I do.
Because I didn't.
There's at least 2 child seats. What are they called? Car seats. You can request additional car seats if you have a family of a couple more kids.
Awesome.
But you do pay a premium. The regular Lyft car that you would rent is cheaper, and the buses are free. So
That's true.
yeah,
That's true.
but some people are like, hey man, I don't, and you can do that coming home from the park as well. You can get on a lift and say, hey, come pick me up at Magic Kingdom and
They
drop me
only
off.
do Disney property. They aren't going to take you anywhere off Disney property.
That the mini vans and / mini SUVs do not leave the property. They are driven by Disney cast members, which is cool. It's an added little benefit.
Yeah.
So
If you've got somewhere to go early, like the Run Disney people, they do run your buses. They make sure they run buses for that. So never mind. I was going to say grab a minivan, but
Oh, and the buses, the hours of the buses, and they'll tell you the buses run 1 hour after park closing, and that's for everything. That's like
the buses do
Yeah.
only an hour.
they don't run all night.
I didn't know they only ran 1
The
hour.
buses, those drivers do not drive
just
overnight.
like the tram, huh?
Just
well,
like
I know
the
they
tram.
don't drive overnight.
They'll tell you hop on, and here's the hours of the bus. Here's the hour of Magic Kingdom, and here's the hours that we're going to drive and come pick you up.
Because some people like to hang out in the parks
Sure.
after they close forever.
Rightfully so, right? Because it's
Because
beautiful.
it's cool to walk
Yeah.
around when it's not busy.
Yeah, you hang out at Magic Kingdom after the majority of crowd leaves. You can just sit down.
I was a
and look
cast member for a little while, and every night that I got off and I'd walk through Hollywood, it was like,
around. Yeah,
it was just awesome because barely anybody. There were still some stragglers
Sure,
walking
sure.
out, but it was just really cool to see the streets dead and the lights are still on, the music's still playing. Christmas time was the best. I just stand there and look at the tree. Nobody else around me. Just look at the tree.
yeah, that's neat. That's. But I also feel bad for the workers. They're like trying to usher people out
Right?
of
They're
there.
like,
But
get out. I want to go home.
that's what the parks were. The rides close when the park says it's closed. The rides close down. The stores stay open, but they close from back to front as they usher everybody out.
Yeah.
I know we're getting off topic. We're supposed to be
way
talking
off
about
topic.
we're supposed to be talking about All-Star movies.
Like, I don't know what happened.
The bus times.
Oh,
the
yeah,
bus times.
bus times.
Yeah, so you could like hurry up and get the family out of the rooms, rush up to the bus, and you're waiting, until that next bus comes. So
They aren't that long, though.
it's typically 15 to
10
20
to
minutes.
Okay, I was going to say 10 to 15, but
And depending on what
it's been a
resort,
long time since I've looked at
Yeah.
it, so.
depending on what resort you're on,
True,
it just depends on how far away each of those parks are.
true. And different resorts have different transportation, which we'll talk about when we get to them, but
Yeah. I
That'll be
think
fun.
that about wraps up All-Star movies.
I think so too.
I'm sure we have missed things, and we apologize
Probably.
now.
This is the most important, maybe. How about the most fun?
Yeah. That was fun. Talking All-Star movies is awesome. We hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you'd like to follow us, memories are out there on everything you can think of. Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. And if you'd like to help support Memories Are Out There, we also have the Patreon and PayPal.
All right.
I'm done.
Remember, memories are out there.